Coming on Mountain News this morning, a Prestonsburg pastor made his way to court after being accused of inappropriately texting a teenage girl earlier this year. And people in Corbin are upset after a fire destroyed a local church that had been abandoned. And after being closed since May to repair storm damages, a busy road in Prestonsburg is back open.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:01 on Tuesday, July the 2nd. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning. It was humid. It was hot. It was gross. But the good news is we didn't see any rain yesterday. I wish Brandon could give us some good news for today, but it's not looking like it.
It's still humid and it's still hot and it's still gross this morning because basically like swimming in your clothes as you head out the door. 70s, lots of humidity, and dew points are way up there. Let's take a look at what's going on across the region. Buffalo Mountain, a few little clouds this morning. So again, maybe just a little bit of cloud cover covering your sunshine to start the day. Some fog around too. You see those lower visibility numbers down toward the Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia borders there. Be careful of that. Although visibility has improved a little bit, Middlesboro back up to 2.5 miles down, was down to less than a mile there earlier. A few little showers into parts of northeastern Kentucky. I think those scattered chances for rain are going to affect all of us today at some point. Looking at those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, close to 70. Jonesville actually up 2 degrees from earlier. They were 64 a little bit, now 66. Some 70s across parts of northern Kentucky there and northeastern Kentucky. Ashland at 71. 87 our forecast high. 85 is our average. 93 the record set back on this day in 1991. The full forecast is on the way in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, new overnight, 2 people are dead following a crash in Laurel County. It happened around 9:30 last night on Old Way Road, just outside of London. Not many details are being released at this point. We do not know how many vehicles were involved or if anyone else was injured. Police say they will release more information sometime this morning after all family members have been notified. Well, a Prestonsburg pastor spent Monday afternoon in court. The police say Bobby Blackburn sent messages to a teen asking the girl to engage in sexual activities. During a preliminary hearing yesterday, police said they could prove it was Blackburn who sent the messages. WYMT's Macy Marie stopped by the courtroom and talked to the defense that claims they have evidence suggesting Blackburn was not the one sending those messages.
Accused of messaging a teenage girl, trying to get her to engage in sexual activities. Police say Bobby Blackburn sent those messages to one of his employees and that they can prove he was the one sending them.
I'm saying that you can put the timestamp from the conversation with his wife, the time, and the timestamp with the minor, and they're within the same minute. It doesn't break down to second.
But shortly after the girl told police Blackburn messaged her, another team claimed they were the one who sent the messages. Police continued questioning her until she told them she was pressured into lying.
She became emotional and changed her statement and stated that she was coerced by Blackburn and was followed to the Prestonsburg Police Department to make that statement on his behalf.
Officers played back security camera footage from the police station.
Blackburn followed her to Prestonsburg Police Department. His vehicle is seen pulling in the department, in the parking lot immediately behind this juvenile.
But Blackburn's defense attorney, Steve Owens, claims Blackburn did not even have the cell phone on him when those messages were sent.
Well, the phone was being used by people who were working for him at selling shaved ice to make credit card transactions, and I have those credit card transactions, and I'm going to supply those to the police.
The phone in question was not submitted for evidence. Police were told it was tossed into a river.
Again, that was Macy Marie reporting. Now, back in May, Blackburn surrendered to police after they put out a warrant for him. He is out of jail right now on bond, but is under house arrest. Well, a Whitley County man will be back in court on Monday. 40-year-old Michael Worley is charged with murdering his aunt, 58-year-old Wanda Richardson. Worley's preliminary hearing was pushed to next week. Police say Worley and Richardson were seen arguing last week and that Richardson was later found dead outside her home on Better West Road. Police say she was beaten to death. Investigators think Worley was under the influence at the time of his aunt's death. Well, nearly 2 years later, a Knox County grand jury indicted a father for his son's murder. This is Paul Phipps. Last year, police told us that in 2017, he shot and killed his son. Investigators found Charles in his burned home. An autopsy revealed someone shot him. Police said while serving a search warrant, police found a burned gun in Paul Phipps' home. He faces murder and tampering with physical evidence charges. A firefighter in Estill County accused of stealing thousands of dollars is suspended from his job this morning. Christopher Chad Neal was arrested Saturday for theft. Officials say between December 2017 and January of 2018, Neal sold emergency lights intended for vehicles owned by the city of Irvin. Court documents also show that he put the title to an emergency vehicle in his name and started using it as a personal vehicle. When someone threatened to turn him in, Neal threatened their life at gunpoint. He faces several charges. Well, a former Knox County magistrate was indicted on federal drug charges yesterday. Our news partners at the Lexington Herald Leader report that this man, former magistrate Jerry Rabbit Cox, faces 6 charges of illegally distributing pain pills. Cox was a candidate for the Republican nomination for magistrate in one of the county's districts in the May 2018 primary. He won the nomination but was defeated in November. He could face up to 20 years behind bars if convicted. Well, the Rockcastle County Sheriff's Office is looking for any information on the person in these photos. The suspect is wanted for receiving stolen property and fleeing and evading police. Anyone with information on the identity of the person in these photographs is asked to contact the Rockcastle County Sheriff's Office at 606-256-2032 or Rockcastle County 911 at 606-256-4508. Deputy Kirk Mays is in charge of the investigation. A Johnson County man is behind bars accused of stealing from a business. A grand jury indicted Adam Van Hoos last month. He faces charges of receiving stolen property and obscuring the identity of a machine or other property. Investigators say he took a tow dolly from convenience storage of Louisa. He was arrested Sunday. Well, last night, friends and family of a Pike County teen killed in an accidental shooting gathered at Phelps High School. Gabby McCoy's funeral is at noon today. Services are being held at the McCoy Athletic Center. That is the gym at Phelps. Gabby was just 16 years old. Well, a fire started at a Corbin church again. This time, the abandoned building on Moore-Hill Avenue is destroyed. Investigators are still working to figure out how the fire was started. But people in the community are sad to see the building go. Garrett Weimer is in Corbin with more.
Other than ash and scraps, not much is left now of an old church building that stood here at the corner of Moore-Hill and Kennedy for decades.
There ain't no sense in taking it out on a church, burning God's house up. It's not right.
A state police arson investigator is looking into what started the fire. Neighbors are convinced someone set it. It's not the first time the empty building has caught fire, but this one was too close to home, literally, for Carol Landrum and her family right next door.
It looked like it was all engulfed in flame, and it was blazing and a lot of smoke.
Landrum says her son in his room could feel the heat from the flames. The building burned to the ground and continued to smolder and burn throughout the day. Several folks have driven by here, pulled over, stopped to see what's left. One man told me he went to church here as a kid. They say it's sad to see it like this. Whether looking back or looking forward, folks in the area here say it's a shame. Landrum, for one, had plans for it, hoping to rent it and make it a place to help feed the community.
But now this, you can't do it now.
Still, they're counting their blessings it didn't spread to their home. In Corbin, Garrett Weimer, WYMT Mountain News.
Fire officials tell us even though the church building has been empty for a while, it has been known to be home to some vagrants and squatters from time to time. Well, a busy downtown Prestonsburg Road is back open. The city officials closed West Court Street following storm damage in May. High winds blew off the roof of a business, killing one man and leaving questions about the building's structural integrity. Mayor Les Stapleton tells us work is underway to also fix that building. Well, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice declared a state of emergency yesterday for several counties that were hit by serious flooding this weekend. Those include Grant, Pendleton, Tucker, and Randolph counties. The governor has authorized West Virginia Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management Director Mike Todogorovich to support the counties and to use all state resources as necessary. Well, 27-year-old Los Angeles Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs was found dead in a Texas hotel room Monday afternoon in a suburb of Dallas. The Angels were in Texas to play the Rangers and had a game scheduled for that very night. In a statement, the Southlake, Texas Police Department said they responded to a call of an unconscious man in a hotel room at a Hilton hotel. Officers arrived and found the man unresponsive. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
It's just a really sad situation, obviously, and it's important that we all kind of obviously keep him in our thoughts and prayers, but also have just the perspective of, how fragile, life is. Just really sad.
Skaggs was a first-round draft pick by the Angels in 2009 and a regular starter since 2016. He had struggled with injuries for the past 3 seasons, but was the team's most reliable pitcher this year.
Well, the forecast this morning, quiet for most areas, but a little fog still around. Let's take a look at the Mountain Parkway up in Powell County at Slade. And again, a little fog in the distance there, but for the most part, traffic moving well. A little fog, especially down into the Cumberland Valley near the Kentucky-Tennessee border there. Less than a mile visibility at Harlan, a mile exactly at Williamsburg, and 2.5 miles rather at Middlesboro. So just be careful across the region this morning. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. A few showers up to the north. Actually, one little sail over into parts of Lawrence County, going back into Wayne County, West Virginia. But that's the only game in town right now. You're going to see more of those scattered showers and storms throughout the day. Temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s across the board. Appcast as we head through the first part of your day. Dry, I think, for the most part. But we'll see those temperatures climb and those rain chances climb as we get into the heat of the day. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Later, those flying the skies with United Airlines will have a host of new snack options to choose from in the air.
It's a food lover's paradise here at the Fancy Food Show in New York. I'm Hillary Lane with the trendy foods that are making a difference.